Hello and thank you for joining me for another video beer review. Then today we've got a beer from Northern Monk up in Leeds in West Yorkshire, and this is a can of their DDH IPA, 7% ABV, and this is North versus South. Collaboration then with breweries from Glasgow of Overtone Brewing Company, and of course Neon Raptor out of good old Nottingham, Raggy's neck of the woods. So yeah, so this was a supermarket purchase. I bought it about a week ago, 5 days. Check out the artwork, pretty damn cool. So these beers have been out in Tesco's for quite a while. I've not rushed out to get them or anything like that. But I went ahead and purchased like 6 beers, and this is one of them. I've actually also purchased the other beer of this little series that was brewed at Staggeringly Good, and that is North versus South, the South Double Dry Hopped IPA. Got it on the screen here. Collaboration with Brewing by Numbers, Staggeringly Good, and Yonder Brewing and Blending down in the south, of course. So anyway, let's get this beer into the glass and see what we get out of it. I've actually had this beer before at one of my local micro pubs, the Royston in Broadstairs. They stock this as well, so I'm not going to do any spoilers at the moment, but yeah, so I'm just curious to see what this is like in the supermarket. So pour it out into the glass, my favourite glass here. So beer in the glass, it looks absolutely spot on, I must admit. Half a finger of white head there, hazy as you would expect, and not much light coming through, quite thick. Very nice indeed. So let's get a nose on this then. I'll try and find out the hops in this actually before we go any further. So we're escaping. So combining our shared passion for all things hoppy, the Northern Powerhouse are represented by. See, this is another thing that Northern Powerhouse. I believe they've done a series of that about 5 years ago, but anyway, that's another story. Representing the double dry hopped IPA packed full of Citra, Strata, and Idaho 7 and Dorado. So I know there's a few fans out there for Idaho 7. You know who you are. Anyway, aroma. Yeah, really tropical, but I'm getting a kind of almost like a cereal kind of grainy kind of thing going on, despite the obvious juice bomb that this beer is. So it's like an overripe mango, which I don't mind mangoes. Passion fruit, pale stone fruit, that kind of jazz. A little bit of grapefruit, lovely kind of juicy orange in that as well. So it's almost like an apricot jam thing going on there. But yeah, really quite easy on the nose kind of aroma. Let's go in for the taste. So we get out this one. Cheers. So this beer has had time to settle down. Straight off the shelf, which is a bit too warm. In Tesco's under the lights kind of deal. So not ideal kind of conditions to buy a beer like this, personally. Which I'm always a bit kind of skeptical of supermarket beers in general, especially more of the craftier type variety. Just because I know how beers sit in warehouses, warm warehouses, having worked in the supermarket for 17 years, kind of get that, understanding of stuff. And it's everything against, as I've said before, what this is, what this brewery is, these breweries are going into supermarkets. So that's my only kind of negative on it. For this individual beer in glass, it's actually not too bad. They do canned on dates, I believe. well, it's best before the 3rd of October of 2022. So there is a fair chance this could have been sat on the shelf for a few months. Not going to lie. But then, having said that, I have put it in the fridge for a while. Before I opened it, it wasn't like the next day. Sometimes you've got to take these things into account. If you're looking at it from you know, if you're used to drinking your craft beers kind of thing, anyone else who's just getting into it, you wouldn't even realise that a lot of these beers do need to be kept in the fridge when you purchase them. There was rumours that supermarkets were going to install fridges and things like that for these beers. I don't know if that's got very far down the road from these rumours. Probably about getting on for 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago. But anyway, beer in glass, very nice. A nice kind of jammy apricot thing going on. Very smooth, very easy drinking, very citrusy. Low bitterness. I know bitterness these days in beers is definitely not a trend compared to, say, 10 years ago. So this is very similar to a New England style. But yeah, it's got more of a maltier background in it. A little bit more kind of grain coming through, which kind of adds to it. It's got a little bit of kind of a, it's not brown bread, but it's got that kind of element of a warm brown bread kind of thing. Even those beers straight out of the fridge at about 4 or 5 degrees, something like that. And you get that kind of cereal, grainy kind of note on the nose, even when it's cold. But yeah, overall, a very nice, easy drinking beer. It's just how I remember it when I had it at the Royston about 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is always a good sign. I don't know where they got their stock from. I'll have to find out. But either way, very nice, easy drinking beer. And yeah, I've had a beer or reviewed a beer from Northern Monk for a little while. So yeah, that is the North versus South North version double dry hopped IPA, 7% ABV. The South version is exactly the same ABV. I'm not sure about the hops, etc., but definitely a few breweries different as one would expect, really. So let me know if you've had this one before. It's been out in the supermarkets now for quite a while. And also a little bit of snippet of information for you. I will be having a 10-15 minute interview with Brian Dixon, head brewer of Northern Monk, coming up in the not too distant future. So look out for that. It's going to be quite interesting. I've got a few questions for him, etc. And maybe we'll have a few beers while we're having a chat and stuff like that. And maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's 20 minutes, half hour. We'll see how it goes. Not done interviews before, so yeah, check out that. That'll be coming fairly soon. And let me know if I've had this before. And I haven't had the South version of this yet, so let me know which one you like the most. Anyway, thank you for watching. You all take care, and I'll see you on the next one.